All right, so for this next configuration, we're going to be doing the sideways A-frame. This configuration works really well because when you have the guy lines in place onto the vortex head, instead of just having two legs on the ground with those guy lines, you can kind of look at like you have like a quadrupod, like you got four legs. It's very stable. The only thing that you really got to consider with it is side loading your pulleys, and understanding that this won't be going straight off. And you'll see you won't be loading this and reeving this to go straight off, rubbing onto your poles. You're actually going to kind of make it askew, give yourself like a 10 to 15 degree deflection between the legs, and that's going to allow that room for your haul line to go down towards the objective. So what you can see I've done here is you're going to have a shorter leg in the front, a longer leg on the back side. This is to tilt the A-frame head sort of towards the edge. And then I also extended that inner leg out through the A-frame head so I could affix the A-Zorb. And this is going to give me kind of an additional high point to get my guy lines out of the way, giving me all this real estate in the compression leg frame of our bipod. So what I'm going to do is, using those same guy lines, is I'm going to connect them. And you want to have one already kind of pre-planned out with enough tension so that when you raise this, you can kind of lean it against that guy line while you set tension on the next guy line, and then you'll tension each side until you get the more level, uh, get the A-frame head rather level towards the objective. So again, figure it on a bite, give myself a jumper, tie into the next. And then what I'm going to do, and this is going to rest on top of the A-frame, you'll see that, get it out of the way, is I'm going to lift this up. And when I lift it up, I'm going to start trying to lean against this guy line. And you can see here, moderately stable. Don't want to leave it here for too long. Not too concerned yet with where my foot placement is. But now I can kind of trust that, okay, this guy line is going to hold it in place while I go across and affix the next guy line. So now I have some tension here. I don't want it too tight, so I can go to the other side and start pulling tension across. It's good to have a spotter while doing this so they can say, yeah, you know, that's plumb, that looks good. And again, we're still going to need to hobble these feet. I'll probably do that now. Just kind of a preference. I already have it hobbled, pulling tension this way, but to get this mechanism away from the edge just helps for any tripping hazards. I can see I got an issue with my carabiner here. Let's fix that. There we go. There, that's starting to apply some good tension. I'm gonna kind of tighten it a little more my way. That way I can bring it back plumb by tensioning on the other line. There we go. All right. Same rule. this actually just worked out, but figure 8 on a bite, go through your carabiner, lock it down. And then these feet are still not exactly sideways enough to get us some play between. It might just be enough, but that's going to be dependent on where you put your change of direction to go over the edge. So you might have to kind of kick it over a little bit more. And then again, I'll pull more tension on this side. And there you go. We have a good sideways A-frame. Got more of that easel leg off the back. Again, we can continuously push this forward or lower this down by taking out a leg segment. And that's going to get us up to our edge. And again, you can see what I'm talking about. You have this swivel, but if you're pulling against that, that's going to be no good. So attaching a Prussix or some webbing, a set of 4s to lower this down. So that way there is a little bit of swing, but of course you got to equate for that swing and coming outside of that resultant. So you're gonna have to check your back force when hauling, and then obviously your descent force on your pulley. So, but you have all these connections. You have this yoke, which is probably the best to use, and that'll get you right in line with this footprint of your compression leg frame. So sideways A-frame, it's a good option to use if you have a small area and you have some good anchor points to guide down on either side. So you can see here, I went ahead and affixed a clutch down to our AZorb, went up to a high point, did a redundant looped piece of webbing, and down to our change of direction. And you can see as we haul, you need to just be careful of that haul line and what type of resultant it's going to cause. But you have a lot of play from this leg up to this this kind of longer easel leg on the sideways A-frame. But as we come out, if this is your edge, that's what we're looking for. So if I'm going this way, you can see how it's starting to load. I'm pulling down, it's good. So just depending on the pitch that you're going to be going down, you need to just watch where this pulley is going to end up. So as I kind of come this way and as they let out line, we just want to make sure that the resultant is staying within the footprint, which is going to be, you can just look at this hobble strap as your footprint, and the center screw of the pulley of the sheave is that line down to where the forces, the applied forces are going to be at on your system. So again, this is it loaded, giving us some play with that redundant loop piece of webbing basketed through the yoke of the A-frame head.